on here?
We're photosynthesizing.
You're what?
Photosynthesizing. You know, we're taking energy from the sun and making food.
You can't photosynthesize. You're not a producer. Let's talk about that.
In our first Critters in Creation video, we talked about metabolism, and that is the process by which animals and all organisms burn calories and use that energy to do things like move around and catch bugs and maybe even grow. But everything has to obtain energy first before it can do anything with it. And lots of different organisms have different strategies for how they get their energy. And we're going to talk about some of those strategies in this video. The first way that organisms get their energy is actually through sunlight. And this is going to be things like producers. That's our trees, our plants, everything with those green leaves that are going to be capturing the sunlight through a process called photosynthesis and turning it into energy. And they can store that energy and use it later, but they are completely dependent on sunlight. These creatures, these plants are going to be completely competitive for that sunlight. And so trees may grow super tall, trying to get the most sunlight they can, trying not to be in the shade of other plants. They are very competitive because they need that sunlight. These are our producers.
Another class of organisms are heterotrophs. That means they're consumers. They're going to consume our autotrophs. They're going to consume each other. That's true for this guy right here. Jeremiah is a heterotroph. He eats all sorts of things every morning, at lunch, at dinner, second dinner, midnight snack. He is a consumer. It's also true of this guy that he's holding right here. This is a salamander, one of the fiercest predators in our water race. But what he's doing is he's going around, he's eating insects, and he's consuming all of the life that he can, and he's turning that into energy to fuel his movements.
The last way that organisms can get their energy is through decomposition. And decomposing is when things are eating dead things, like this stump right here. The three main organisms that are going to be involved in decomposition are fungi, bacteria, and insects, like these worms here. And we call that the FBI of decomposition. And they're hugely important for cycling nutrients from the dead things back into the soil so they can be taken back up by our producers, the trees and plants.
It's been awesome learning about the different types of life today, but now it's time to let this little heterotroph get back to his consuming.
Hey guys, we've had an awesome time learning about producers, consumers, and decomposers. And these three groups of organisms and how they feed themselves work together into the food chain.
That's true, Walter, but the funny thing is that unlike our critter friends, we can't just live on sunlight or food or anything like that. That Bible right there tells us that man cannot live by bread alone. Instead, we need something more. And what that is the Bible. It's Jesus Christ, and it's His Spirit living inside of us.
That's so good, Josiah. And the result of that Spirit living in us is that we're going to produce the fruit of the Spirit. That's in Galatians, and it talks about love, joy, peace, and kindness. And those things are the result of the new Spirit we have, Jesus living in us.
So get out there, show some great fruits of the Spirit. And if you haven't had a chance yet, check out all of our other cool videos. We miss you, we'll love you, and we'll see you next time.